Warning: this reading contains subject matters that may be disturbing or distressing to many. The Balcony. Written by Scriptsinger. Chapter 2. The Confession. Emerald sat in the waiting room, sobbing silently to herself as she could not let herself sleep, feeling what she had done to her friend was her fault. She had her arm in a sling due to the pull from her fall. She waited patiently for the nurse to tell her what was going to happen to Script. Her eyes drifted slightly as she waited. She slowly drifted off to sleep. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in a large field with all sorts of flowers, the smell of spring in the air. She looked around, confused as to where she was, never remembering being here before.
Where am I?
She thought to herself. Hello, Emerald. Emerald swung her head around, facing her friend Scriptsinger. She was wearing a long ivory dress that blew in the wind, her hair flowing behind her, her arms covered with old scars, face stained with tears. Tears welled up in Emerald's eyes as she saw her friend. She had never seen her this beautiful before.
Script?
Emerald said, her voice shaking. How's your arm doing?
It's alright, I guess. But are you okay? I've been worried about you.
Script smiled slightly as she stared at the ground, hanging her head. I'm not in good shape. The fall took a lot out of me. I actually came to say goodbye. Emerald looked at her friend in shock.
What? No! Script,
She struggled to find her words.
I love you. Don't leave me here all alone. I need you.
Tears streamed down her face as she fell to her knees. Script looked at her friend in surprise. She never knew her friend's true feelings for her. Script shut her eyes. I don't deserve to be loved, she sighed. I don't deserve anything.
Yes, you do. You just can't see it. I'm the one who doesn't deserve anything.
You deserve everything.
I'm a monster.
Script held her friend's hands and looked into her eyes. You are not a monster. You are a wonderful human being and are beautiful and caring just the way you are. Emerald couldn't hold it in anymore. Her face burst into tears as she pulled Script into a tight hug.
Please, don't leave me.
She whimpered. I'm sorry, but I have to do this. Script pulled herself out of the embrace and began walking toward a lake and started walking into the water. Emerald's eyes grew wide as she ran after her friend, but before she could reach her, Script was already submerged. Emerald woke up with the nurse tapping her on the shoulder.
You can go see her now,
she uttered. Emerald quickly got up, panic filling her mind. Was her dream a sign? Was this real? She dashed out of the seating area and ran up the stairs to Script's room, praying it wasn't too late. Emerald burst her door open, tears streaming down her face. She rushed over to her friend's bed and grabbed her hand.
Script, I'm here,
She sobbed.
Please stay with me. Don't go. I can't live without you.
Emerald struggled to find her words, feeling a large lump in her throat.
I love you, Script. I always have. Ever since I first met you, I can't stop thinking about you. But I was so scared to tell you. I was scared you would hate me.
Emerald couldn't stop crying.
Please, don't go.
Emerald just stared at her friend motionless on the bed. She pulled her into a tight embrace as she began to sob into her chest.
I'm so sorry, Script.
Emerald just sat there, sobbing and holding her friend for what felt like hours. Finally, she gave up and was about to leave. She slowly got up, figuring she was too late. Script's finger twitched slightly. Emerald jumped up when she noticed the movement. She looked at Script, trying not to get her hopes up. Script slowly opened her eyes as she let out a soft groan. Emerald? She mumbled.
Script?
Emerald sobbed. What happened? Emerald just started laughing out of pure joy as she sobbed as she wrapped herself around her friend, just glad she was alive. Script winced in pain from the embrace, but smiled and appreciated the gesture. What's going on? Are you all right, Em? Emerald pulled herself out of the hug.
I thought I was gonna lose you. I had a vision you were going to kill yourself in a lake.
Script looked at her friend with wide eyes. I was just having a dream about that. Emerald looked at her friend in surprise.
Really?
Script looked down slightly as her face turned a light shade of red. You also said you loved me. Was that true? Emerald blushed slightly as she stared at the floor, fidgeting. She nodded her head.
I've always loved you, Script. Ever since we first met, I fell in love with you. I can't stop thinking about you at night.
I'm flattered, but I just don't see us together like that. I'm sorry. Emerald stared at her friend in confusion.
You don't hate me?
Emerald, I could never hate anyone. I'm not like that. A soft smile grew on Emerald's face. She pulled her friend in for another tight hug.
Thank you, Script.
Emerald whispered.
Thank you so much.
Script let out a soft chuckle. You're welcome, Em.
Honestly, I don't care if you feel the same way. As long as we stay friends, I'm happy.
As long as you're happy, I'm happy, Script uttered. Emerald walked down the streets humming to herself. About a month had passed since her attempted suicide, and things were starting to get better. She was on her way to Sugar Cube Corner to meet up with Script for her weekly brunch meetup. She finally made it, but was slightly confused when she saw no one inside through the glass door window. She opened the door and walked inside.
Where is everyone?
She wondered aloud. Surprise! Emerald jumped back slightly startled. Pinkie Pie and Script jumped out of nowhere and placed a party hat on her head. Everyone else came out from their hiding places. Emerald let out a giggle.
You guys didn't have to do this.
I know, but you're our friend. It's the least we could do, Script uttered, walking toward her friend for a hug. Emerald hugged Script, drawing the hug out for as long as she could. A moment like this wouldn't have come had things turned out differently. Emerald was happy things didn't.
Come on, girls! Don't just stand in the doorway! We got a whole party full of fun to get to!
Pinkie giggled as she blew a party horn, bouncing away in her usual happy manner. Emerald and Script joined the party, celebrating with their friends only in ways Pinkie could devise to be more fun than the last. The time seemed to fly by till things wound down. Emerald and Script sat next to each other, enthralled in a funny conversation.